another episode of our Victory Garden series. I'm Ashley Mariani with Pitt Moss, and I'm here with fabulous Doug Oster. This episode, we are going to learn all about how to be the cheapest gardener possible, which is saving your seeds.
I'm the cheapest gardener possible, and everybody should save their seeds, and we're going to show you how easy it is, but there is something that is really important.
Okay.
We can only save from something called an open pollinated variety.
So what's that?
That just means that it hasn't been bred by conventional breeding techniques. So there's two big families.
Okay.
One is called a hybrid. And so a plant breeder will take two things and cross them. If we save that seed, it's either sterile or will revert to one of those parents. It won't be the same thing, that's all.
Okay, so you're not guaranteed that original plant.
Right. When we go with the other family, which is open pollinated, we know we're going to get the same thing.
Okay.
And to know that is just to know the variety. On the plant label, the plant tag, or the seed packet is going to say hybrid. And so if it doesn't say hybrid, we're good to go. Once we have that figured out, all we need to do is observe the plant and see when it wants to discard its seeds, and we get there first.
Okay.
And so we'll
You
show...
mean first before like the birds or the critters come in and
Well,
start
just before
gobbling them?
all it wants to do is grow,
Okay.
flower, make seed, and drop those seeds so that it can procreate.
Okay.
And so we swoop in with our little envelope, and we get the seeds first. So let's start with a flower that's right behind you.
All right. Beautiful. All right, Doug, what flower is this that we're looking at?
The morning glory. And
Beautiful.
some people won't grow them because in their gardens they're invasive,
Okay.
because they drop seeds everywhere. In this garden they aren't. They're really well behaved, and so I grow them in containers. But I want some seeds for next year, and you can see if you look closely,
Yeah, I see some
they've
just popped up
they've
here.
done their seed pods. The seed pods are dried, and pull 3 of them off there, and bring them down
Kinda
into your
nice.
hand.
Oh, I see. They like pop open.
See, we're
Is that
getting
okay?
them. Yeah, we're getting them right before they're going to drop off, and so that's all there is to it on a variety like this.
Oh, interesting.
And you see how easy that fell apart. Those seeds are ready to go. That's the
Yeah.
pod right there.
Yes.
Really important though.
Labeling.
So
Yes.
put that into that. And I use these, they're just coin envelopes from the business store.
Okay.
And we have to know that it's a morning glory. You know, I could figure that out, but if you saved 10 different seeds,
Yeah.
you'd be like,
They
what's
look
what?
like large onion seeds, so I would get confused.
Right, right. And when we get going, we're going to save some other seeds. I'll show that how we'll store that. Dry is important for storing seeds because it's a living, breathing organism, believe it or not. And we'll look around the garden. I'll show you some other things we can save seeds from.
Beautiful.
All right. Let's
Perfect.
take a look. So beans are another easy one. Bring that one out of there.
I see these. Beautiful.
And you can see how big they are. They're not quite ready yet. All we would do in this is we just wait another week or two until this gets brown. But you can see the size of the bean seed right there.
Yeah.
That's a bean seed.
Whoa.
And feel how soft it is.
It is. It is.
When
I
that-
almost squashed it.
When that dries out, that's when we know it's ready to go.
Okay. All right. So really it's just saving a couple beans from your garden and drying them out.
Definitely.
It's really that simple.
The most complicated thing that we're going to save seeds from are tomatoes, and I've
Okay.
got that set up over on the patio.
All right. Let's go check that out.
Well, tomatoes are probably the #1 crop that people save their seeds from.
Okay.
One thing that surprises most people when they do save their own seeds is that the germination rate the next season is very high.
Really?
They expected, oh gosh, it's going to be 50%, but I found that it's well over 90% germination because you're taking special care of these seeds. And so for a tomato, it's a little different. This is the plant seed delivery system. We've got a tomato here that is a little overripe.
Okay.
Not rotten, but a little overripe. Whenever we're looking for seeds, just like out there, we want mature seed because it is living and breathing, and when the seed is mature, you're going to get a better plant.
Okay,
And
so you want to pick a riper tomato.
This is a variety called Dester, which is an heirloom and super flavorful. Now, I have 1 Dester left, so cut it in half. And
right.
we're going to squeeze some seeds out of there, but we're going to eat the rest of it.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Perfect. And you can see how meaty that tomato is.
Yeah, wow.
You know, but there's a seed cavity in there. And all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of squeeze some seeds down into some water. The reason we're doing the water is that we're going to ferment these seeds. And the reason we're fermenting the seeds is it will take that gelatinous coating off there that stops the seeds from sprouting in the tomato.
Okay.
It will also stop some fungal diseases when we ferment them. And so
it's not required, but definitely a good
you know,
thing to do.
right, if you were to leave this tomato in the garden, you'd have 100 little transplants next spring. So this is just the way that I've learned to do it.
Okay.
And so in they go. Now we're going to stir this once a day for 2 or 3 days, and that'll get our fermentation process going, and that's what I have right here.
Okay.
This was done a couple days ago. I'm going to pour off the water, and then I love to dry them on a coffee filter like this because they don't stick.
Oh,
If you put it on a paper towel, like I have these seed things where I send tomatoes to people, tomato seeds to people,
Yeah.
and they send the seeds back. When they send me on a paper towel, I have to resend the whole paper towel because I can't peel them off there. This way we can
the crevices almost like stick to it.
we can get them off.
Perfect.
So I'm going to pour a little bit of the water off. I don't want to lose any seeds. And there's some pulp and stuff in there.
Sure.
And then we'll just put what's left right on there. And you can see the seeds on there.
Yeah.
And there's a few more down in here.
Don't want to miss any of those.
No. And all they need to do is dry out for a couple days on the on this paper towel, or I'm sorry, on this coffee filter.
Yeah.
And then once they dry out, we'll do the same thing we did with the other varieties. We'll take out a
little packet.
little packet.
Label.
We'll put it in, label it. Now for storage.
Yes.
Dry is important. Once this dries off, if this gets wet again, they're done.
Okay.
So we dry them off. We put them in our seed envelope. We put the seed envelope into a glass jar that's resealable. I like these canning jars.
Yeah.
Now that's going to stay dry. We keep that in a cool, dry place. I've got a shelf down in the basement for all my seeds. And now we will have seeds not only that we can use for ourselves, but it's fun to trade them. It's fun to share them with people. You know, this tomato Dester, I mean, it is just, it's won all these taste tests around the country, and it's an old-fashioned tomato. And when we think open pollinated, when it comes to tomatoes, those are the heirlooms.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of different varieties we can
Lots
save
of
seeds
flavor
from.
in the heirlooms too.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And so that's all there is to it. You should save your own
Easy.
seeds. You'll save money, but it's a fun project, and it's a way actually that if you do this for 100 years, if you keep this going in your garden, theoretically, the seed is changing, evolving for your microclimate. And so
they'll be more productive, more resilient.
Right, they're used to your microclimate. Now, whether that happens or not, or whether you would even notice, I don't know. But
90-year-old Ashley will definitely notice.
right, there you go. So that's it. That's how we save our seeds and
so
store them.
they're ready to be planted in pit moss next season.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, on to eating.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. We'll see you next time on our next Victory Garden series. Thanks for joining us.
I'll get the salt.
Wonderful.